Look at those balls of steel. Hey, remember how last time I said next week I'll show you my new motorcycle and it'll be ready?
I lied.
I wanted to get something painted and it wasn't going to get ready in time. But guess what? Today is Thursday. You're watching this on Friday and the painted part got done today. So remember how I said that I lied?
I lied.
Here it is. Ta-da! 22 Kawasaki KLR Adventure 9 ABS. I'm going to be here for a little while walking around it and talking about it. So here it is. Got it 2 weeks ago and I did a few things and it's done. I didn't want to do much to begin with, but for those of you who are unfamiliar, this is the jack of all trades, master of none. It gets a passing grade on every category but is awesome at nothing. So this is a mix of Ninja 650s, which I've had and loved. It's a mix of an adventure bike, which I've also owned one of those. So this bike does everything except, well, go fast and well, that's about it. Anyway, so what have I done to it? Not much. First thing I wanted to do was get rid of the green because I didn't like it. I literally just wanted a red 650, but I couldn't find a design for it. So I was like, screw it, I'll just slap my name on there. Just a little bit of red instead of green. Done. Blacked out the spokes. Stuck on a couple crappy highway pegs that don't do much, honestly, but they're better than nothing. This is the painted part. So this is the only silver part. This is the plate. And I had that painted black. And now it's better. And there's a net on there because it's cool. And you can put stuff on there. These are like crash plates that were gray. And I had those painted black, even though you could just take them off. But if I lay it over, then they're replaceable. That's the whole point. Not much else. Stuck a tank bag on there. Got this one pretty cheap. Pretty happy about that, which is great. When I travel, I can put whatever I want back here. But otherwise, it always looks like this. Put a phone mount up here on the bar so I can have my map. Got a USB cable plugged in there. And over here, stuck a remote on here for music. I feel like there's one other thing. Nope, that's about it. Anyway, so here it is. I've already broken in the 2 weeks I've had it. I put 600 miles on it. Got the oil change, everything, and now it's ready to go on an actual trip. I'll talk about where I went and stuff, but I just wanted you to get a pretty good look at it before I get going. No, I think that's everything. Nice. Let's get the steel balls out of here. If there wasn't a couple up there, I'd go right around those balls because this bike can do it, but I don't want to disturb their ball touching. Okay, first of all, why come? Why did I get this bike? Well, before I say that, I will say straight up, I should not have gotten this. I do not need it. But the argument against is I don't need any of my motorcycles, really. So I don't need it, but like on my motorcycles, it sure is nice to have. Like I said, it's kind of a mix of a bike that I've liked and another bike. And you're all like, probably, whoa, Walter, you just showed how you can convert your Super Duke into. This is how you talk, all of you, every day for all time. We just converted your Super Duke into and you could show how you could tour with it. Why did you do this? Well, because it's nice to have, that's all. I don't need it. I said that already. So all your arguments against are valid because I don't need it. But anyway, it sure is nice. You know, I've had a KTM 1290 Adventure S, which was just swell. And I've ridden the 1250 GS Adventure GSA. That is the best adventure bike I've ever been on. And you can watch reviews about this bike. I don't want to review it too much. I'll probably end up giving some opinions today while I'm out on it. But this bike, like I said, isn't good at anything, but it'll get the job done. It's a mule. It's a workhorse. It'll get it done, son. So it's very slow, as you can see here. I'm not gassing it all the way, but I'm kind of gassing it. It's faster than most people will drive, but when I get on the highway, it is tough. Top speed of this thing, I'd say, is 90, but you're maxing at 90. You don't want to just stay at 90. Like, you have to pass. You can crawl up to 90 and pass. Otherwise, typically, I'll sit at 75 to keep up with traffic, and it's not struggling at that point, but man, oh, this bike, it just feels so small compared to other ones I've been on. Sometimes the wind gets really bad. Buffeting behind a semi is awful. The windscreen, though, very surprisingly, it works great. Like, it's fine. I've moved it from the lower position to the high position. I honestly really can't tell a difference, so I'm leaving it at high for now, but it works really well. I'm just saying, like, right now I'm cruising. Oh, that's what it was. This is the extra thing, the cruise control. It's a Go Cruise. Super simple, really good. 30 bucks for a bike like this. I've used these before in the past, It's a throttle lock, so it's just a clamp basically and a rubber washer, and you just do this, decelerate, set it, you know. So that's super awesome to have on this bike. I haven't taken this out in the dirt, taken it across grass, I've taken it in gravel. That's as much as this bike has been on. I really would like to find some hard pack and just with the saddlebags off, just burp and go for a bit. It's very I would say it's very confidence inspiring based on what I've done so far. And I'm not an expert, but I do have experience. And the 650s are good bikes. This engine's very different though. It's a single and you can feel it. It's thumping away, but it's not bad. In fact, I would say the vibration on my Super Duke is worse than this. So, but it might just be because of the nice plush seat, which is the most comfortable stocks I've ever been on, and the plushness of the rubber mounted handlebar or hand grips, I think. Yeah, the rubber mounted bar here and then the rubber mounted foot peg. So yeah, to break it in, I did 200 miles around town and then I did 200 miles to Wichita and then 200 miles back. I wanted to go somewhere I've never been before, and I wanted to go in a direction I've never been before. A short trip to put on the right amount of miles, the X, and then also end back up at home. So I chose Wichita. It was out of Des Moines. My friend said, don't go to Des Moines. I said, okay, all right, I'll do Wichita. Because those were both in directions I hadn't been before. Or so I thought. I was driving south from 35 to Wichita, and I realized, wait, I've been here several times. I've been through here to go to Iowa, what's the other one? Oklahoma and Texas. And I've been here, shoot. But I never got into Wichita. Did it. It was cool. It was nice. Just went there on a Sunday. Went to a sports bar and watched the Chief game and rode home. And it was good. It was a good traveling half day. It was like 6 hours out on the road. It was good. But I really want to go to Colorado or someplace, maybe south. I've said that before. But before I could even do that, it's nice to drive by the Wonder Bread place. You can always smell fresh bread. I had to break in and hit that 600-mile mark, and I couldn't do that on the way to Colorado or back. So I was like, all right, I'll do the 600 miles locally, and then I'll be ready to go on a trip. So, mid-October, late October now. Fall's almost over. These are getting short. They're getting cold. If I'm gonna go, I gotta go soon. I don't know if I'm gonna make it though, and if I do go somewhere, I don't know where I'm gonna go. But this time, unless I'm stupid, very sorry if I'm stupid, I'm gonna try to remember to announce it somewhere so you have a chance at meeting me for a mini-meet. Speaking of things I forget to mention, and if you're still watching this, there's something else you could watch. I need to shout myself out. Me and my best friend do a YouTube channel called The Watching Show where we play video games. So if you would please check it out. I'll put a card and a link in the description. But that's where I spend most of my time lately. So if you would like to join, then that is where I is. Okay, I forgot to mention that last time. I keep forgetting that. Is it a crash? Ooh, yeah, it's a crash. Biggest pros about this bike compared to my other two so far, I guess, is the gas mileage, although I gotta say something. Supposedly it gets like near 300 miles, which is great. Also, it uses 87 octane, which is not something I'm used to. I'm always used to using like the best octane gas for my motorcycles or whatever, but it's cheaper, a lot cheaper. Going to Colorado and back will probably cost 120 bucks in gas, which is like, you know, half what the Super Duke would take, so that's nice and all. But what's the tank, 6 gallons or 6.5? I can't remember. I think it's 6.5. Anyhow, the gas meter here is a digital bar display, and it went down to the last bar. I wasn't flashing it, but last bar at 150 miles, something like that. I was like, well, that would mean that there's at least another 100 miles in the last bar. Well, that can't be right. Something's off. Well, I'm going to fill up with gas, so I'm not going to find out while I'm straight on the side of the road. So I filled it up, and I think it was something like I had, what was it? I filled up the tank, and it was I filled it up 4 gallons, it said, which would mean that there was at least 2 more gallons worth of gas in the tank at the time. Did the math, whatever. Like, okay, yeah, that means that there's at least like 100 miles, about 100 miles on the last bar, which means that the bars are not divided evenly, which means the bars are kind of useless. Like, oh, great. So I need to figure out. I need to better understand what the bars mean, because it's not useful. Well, not on a motorcycle specifically. I'd rather be safe than sorry from traveling. I don't want to go and risk running out somewhere. Better to stop and fill up again if you can. But that kind of defeats the purpose if you can't just take advantage of the long fuel range on this tank. So that's a little complaint. I really wanted it to be like cheap. Maybe affordable is the right word. Like an affordable all-arounder, which is what the KLR is. It's an affordable all-arounder, more or less. And I didn't want to do a lot of mods, if any. It's got the crash bars, which are absolutely necessary for me and my motorcycles. Got to have those. And what else? It's got auxiliary lights in the front, which I don't need, but I really like. And yeah, I got non-ABS because there was no ABS, and I probably would have gotten ABS. But then I remembered my last 650 that I very intentionally, because I wanted the ABS off because it sucked, I disconnected the ABS cable just so it wouldn't work, at least on the rear, and I preferred that. Now, on a super hard motorcycle like the Super Duke, it's useful, and I'm glad it's on there. But on a slower bike, I mean, it's not beyond my abilities, and I've already like skid the rear tire without the least bit of worry. It's not because I'm skilled or anything, it's just the bike is slow. You know. So I probably would have, if they were both in front of me again, I probably would have gotten ABS because it's more, but at the same time, I also read you can't deactivate it. So I can't say I regret getting non-ABS, but that's why I got it. I'll tell you, there's one thing I gotta do, just one, and that's just enjoy it as much as I can. I actually enjoy putting miles on my vehicles. I know some people with their vehicles are not like that. They just want to have them put away and pristine and kept. Like, that's fine, do what you want, it's your stuff. But for me, I'm like, I got a vehicle to drive it, so I want to put miles on it. Super Duke's got 14,000. I've had it for maybe 3 years. FX has got a year on it. It's got 5,000 miles. Car, when I had it, was 20,000 miles in 1 year. Jeep, have had it for 6. That's like 80,000 miles. You know, and I've had several at a time. I don't know what my other vehicles have. But anyway, if ever there's a vehicle when it's like, there's pride to be had in having a high odometer, I think it's this one, right? The KLR. It's meant to travel and it's meant to last forever. So this one, I'm definitely going to be treating it like a high score. The other thing that I got for this bike, not really a mod, but black bungees in the compartment. So, you know, with that net, you can kind of stick anything on there. And then with bungees, you can put anything on the back. This bike is ready to just grab a whole bunch of crap. Anyway, I need to get the balls over if he'll let me. If you will be a generous God and let me get over, I'm getting over. And coincidentally, I guess I just smelled bread earlier. I've got to get this bread. I literally got to get a loaf of bread and milk. So, like 2 out of the 3 cliche grocery basic things you'd get: milk, eggs, and bread.
Let's get this bread.
Hi, Poop. How is the world? Looks like he's got PTSD. You alright? Poor PTSD pupper, post-traumatic stress dog. Let's get this bread. And then let's get those dumplings. After this, I meet my friend for freaking dumplings. I'm so excited. Freaking dumplings. Regrettably, I gotta get off the bike for a little bit to go get this bread. But I'll let you look at the bike one more time. I probably could skid it, but I'm gonna try to preserve the tires a bit, because that's the one thing I'm dreading replacing on this bike is tires. Anyway. It's not pristine clean, but it's fairly clean. It's got 600 miles of grime and bugs on it. It ain't much, but it's got stuff. And it's probably never gonna be this clean again, obviously, because it ain't new. But look at that. It's like a very capable, cute toy. Like, if you're gonna travel the country on a toy, this one, yes. Anyway, oh, this doesn't really count, but there was a reflector thing here that I took off because it was really stupid, and it used a plate mount to do it. Literally the only thing this thing needs is a plate, and it's done. It's done. Not gonna touch anything ever again. I'm gonna go home and ride around and go home and dumplings. Okay, well, thank you guys for watching. Once again, if you want to watch more of the watching show, me and my friend, video games, the end. All right, bye.
Order of